Hi, we're here with Eric Richards today. He has been our videography intern for about the last 4, 5, 6 months. Go ahead and give us a brief description about yourself, Eric, and let us know a little bit about your background, where you come from, your education.
Well, my name is Eric Richards, and I come from Fort Collins. I was originally born in Gunnison, so I've always lived in Colorado. My education right now, I am going down to the college in Aurora called Colorado Film School. I'm going to be starting my second semester really soon, and that's about it.
Go ahead and explain the type of internship you had here.
The type of internship was a videography, but not just that, also like video editing and stuff like that. And I found you guys via Craigslist. I was needing to have some film experience, and so this business giving me an opportunity for that, so I was like, oh, awesome. So contacted you guys and set up an interview, and I worked the summer.
What was your goal when entering into the program?
My goal was to just kind of expand and find different ways to grow as a photographer, not a photographer, well, in photography as well, but a videographer, and just like find different ways to approach different problems and situations, like when you're filming and you don't really know what's going on, and just trying to have to figure out, okay, we'll just work with what we have, and yeah, just kind of make the best of it.
What are some projects that you worked on during your internship?
A lot of them were the different interviews, such as this one, and there's a guy named John Nillen. He had some basketball footage. He was wanting to make some basketball videos. Sadly, we weren't able to complete them, but we'll just have to pass it on to the next person to finish them off, because there was a lot of footage to go through, and it's going to be a little while to do all those individual videos. And the other things I did were the alpaca shoots. I got to shoot them with a camera and then edit them all up, and also did I also did a touring video, and I not only did the video and editing, I also did the music for that, so that was fun. So I got to expand in the music world as well, which is my other field.
Did you feel we had enough resources in order to complete the projects?
I was expecting to have a little bit more presented stuff to work at the place rather than having to work at my house. I had my own camera. I was okay with doing that. It took me a little while to be okay with working at my house, because then it felt like I wasn't really going anywhere, and just editing at my home, and it's not feeling like an internship then. It's feeling like I'm, working by myself at home, and I wanted to get out and do stuff. But then as things went on, yeah.
What are some additional resources you would like to have seen?
A working computer, and software that's not on trial. But you have to work. What was nice though, I got to work with a program I've never worked with, and I've never really understood Windows until this internship. I never really had the opportunity, even though going through like school, like elementary school and high school, middle school, I never really got to understand how Windows is organized. It's in its very elegant way. And so I got to have the opportunity to learn their operating system, and then as well learn like Photoshop and other things I don't have.
Do you feel your internship was a valuable learning experience?
Yeah, it was a good learning opportunity for sure.
Expand on that.
Like stated before, just with having to approach different situations for filming, especially doing kind of like live shoots where the action's happening, you have no control over it, and you just have to make sure you know your gear well enough to set it all up and shoot it to have the least amount of mistakes possible. And yeah, it's really sharpening when you don't have a script.
What things did you learn that you plan on using in the future?
Definitely with just kind of keeping cool in situations, like with having to shoot in a non-controllable environment. Just also it helps me become more comfortable with having to just know the situation's out of your control, and if you know you're not in the control, then you'll be able to adapt to it the correct way.
How do you think your internship will help you move into a career?
This internship will definitely be good resume fodder. Have people see, hey, you worked with so-and-so in this kind of situations. I do expect myself to not be working for somebody but rather have my own my own business. But what is nice from this is that it's going to give me experience to, be more courageous into making my own business rather than, this is resume for someone else to use my skills. Though until I get to that point, it will be nice to have a resume to, get the next opportunity until I get to the point where I can actually have my own foundation.
Your supervisor was Leanne. Go ahead and describe the relationship between you and her.
So at the beginning it was a little difficult because she's from a different part of the world and she uses different idioms and different words that I'm not used to and has an accent raging, and I couldn't understand it at first. It took a little while, and like one time she was asking if I should bring my mic, but it sounded like she wanted me to bring my Mac. And so I'm thinking, why do you want me to bring my Macintosh? And I have a big old computer, and it's not gonna just I'll just put it in my trunk and whatever. But there's a lot of instances like that, trying to figure out, okay, where are you at and where am I at? And I found out a lot of the times when she's trying to explain something, she's also a woman. So, it's just in the process of trying to understand the communication of women. So, eventually I find out we're both talking about the same thing, but we're using different words to describe the same thing. And okay, so that's interesting. So it's been fun to try to figure out, where are we at and how we're coming at the same problem. And it's been also really nice to, get to see the different experiences that she's had through the video world and the connections that she's had. And then we actually found out we are having kind of the same connections between different people in the video world. So that was pretty cool.
How knowledgeable do you feel your supervisor was?
She is very knowledgeable about this, especially because I thought she was 20-something, maybe young 20s. She's not young 20s. She is very good for her age. Eventually, it's been nice to be able to find out or see her work and whatnot, because a lot of times I'm having to do it work by myself, be in a room and be kind of secluded from her to actually see her do things. And so once I got to see her work on other projects and see her final projects and just seeing her workflow, and to find her actually very professional and very knowledgeable of what she's doing, and she's actually had a lot of experience in this field. It was good to be in the presence of a professional who thought I was very professional as well.
How organized do you think your supervisor was?
Very organized. This job has to have lots of organization because it's really easy to lose things and lose footage. So she developed a really good, keen organization to keep all the footage.
How respectful was your supervisor?
Yeah, she was very respectful. At the beginning, when we were kind of butting heads a couple times, trying to figure out, okay, where are you? Where am I? What are we trying to do? What's going on? But she did it in a very calm way, and so that was really good. And as we became more comfortable with each other, we got to be on better grounds and figure out where we are. And
do you feel I, as your internship coordinator, was a good resource throughout your internship?
Yep.
Give some examples.
Throughout the beginning of the internship, when I needed to have a computer to work on, you actually were putting my needs ahead and trying to look for a computer that would work for me. And also, when the stupid power thing wasn't working on one of the computers, you always be willing to help and fix it and whatnot. So that was really nice.
Describe your interaction with other staff.
The interactions were great. We became friends and got to know each other really well, and just became really comfortable around each other. We became really close, and it was awesome.
Now that you've completed, or you're close to completing your internship, would you choose to do it again?
I do think this was a good stepping block to the next stepping block. I would encourage for other people to do it, to get to know and learn other things that this company has to offer. But I do think this was a good learning experience, and then it is time to move forward with life to see what it has for me. So I'm not holding back any potential.
What was your favorite part about the internship program?
I think my favorite part goes way back to the alpaca shearing. It was the first experience of animals screaming and spitting and people all working together and shearing the alpaca. And it was just really fun, fast-paced, and interesting trying to film it all.
What was your least favorite part about the internship program?
Pretty much a computer that's just kind of dead. You click one button and you have to wait for 5 minutes for something to happen.
Is there something that we could do to make it a better part in the future?
It would be nice to have a little bit more provision. Us as interns can bring some to the table, but all the liability of our equipment is there's nothing to back it up. So if something happens, then we're kind of, there's nothing to do, because if it's broken, we're not being paid to, you know, fix it. And so it'd be nice to have some things kind of provided, and it would give a little bit more of a professional color to the company.
Well, that concludes our interview, but before we go, what do you think you can do to make the planet a better place?
So the best way, I think, to keep the planet a better place is just to live honestly and live with integrity, because it not only will benefit you, but it also benefits the people around you. And when people start to learn that, you know, you're a trustworthy person, then you have a lot more you know, trust bonds between these people, and you don't have to keep fighting with trying to, you know, gain people's trust if you just live a life of integrity.
Well, we were delighted to have you here as part of our family, and we hope you stay in touch and let us know where life leads you.
Thank you.